Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Group D of the Euros, which, I spoke the other day about how Group B is being interpreted as Group of Death, but I think this is the Group of Death. I think this is the group where it's going to be the toughest to pull the teams apart. Obviously France, quite easy to pull apart from the rest, but don't imagine it's going to be an easy time for France. Oh sorry, my nose is blocked. It's going to be a tough time for France in this group. But as I said with all my other videos, starting with a disclaimer about my hair. What are you talking about, your hair? Well, I'm going to put up a little vote on my TikTok and on my Instagram for you guys to vote at which crazy hairstyle I should go for when England win the Euros. When England win the Euros, that is. Got to start out with the France video. But let's get into it. Let's get into how France have qualified. They qualified first in the group, that's obvious. Played Netherlands, which is going to be quite interesting when I talk about Netherlands in a second, and beating Netherlands twice, 4-0 and 2-1. But I think you can already tell what the big highlight game here was for them. 14-0. What do you mean 14-0? That's the kind of stuff that goes, oh crap, that's a bit. Yeah, 14-0 against Gibraltar. Only dropping points once, and that was that last game against Greece. Greece giving them a tough time for France, only winning 1-0 at home and then 2-2 away. Not losing a single game in qualifying, but that Greece is staying in that perfect record that they could have had. Beating Ireland twice, which Ireland would have not have liked. Ireland have kind of a bit of a hate for France, but I mean everyone has a bit of hate for France. But that 14-0 against Gibraltar, that's crazy, that's insane, that's wild. And what players were involved in that? Well, there's obviously the obvious one is Kylian Mbappe. The likes of Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele in that attack though as well, alongside Mbappe, alongside Giroud as well, who's still in the lineup, still in the fold of this France team. That's an attack to instill fear into you. The defence isn't what it used to be. The goalkeeper, obviously it's probably Mainan that's going to start, but there's a few options in there for him to start in the goalkeeper. So I've not brought up goalkeeper. Theo Hernandez and William Saliba being the two young shining centre-back, defenders that can be showing the most. We've got Theo Hernandez on the left and then William Saliba probably alongside the likes of Kanate, but it could be Upamecano. There's quite a few defenders that France can choose from. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Zaire Emery. What a midfield that is. What a young midfield. What potential for ages to go in that midfield. They've got Kante in the team as well, but Kante's obviously on an older side now. We're playing some games, I imagine, but it's a young France squad. It's an exciting France squad. Obviously getting to the final of the World Cup last year, just at the end of 2022. We'll wait and see how he does at the Euros, but it's also going to put a lot of fear into teams. 14-0 against Gibraltar shows that they can kind of score goals, shows that they are still together and know what they're doing. Netherlands finished second in their group, obviously behind France, as we just said, losing to France twice. And that being the only place where they actually dropped points in the whole qualifying period. If they didn't lose points to France, they would probably finish top of the group. 6-0 against Gibraltar away, beating Greece away, beating Ireland, beating Greece at home 3-0, beating Gibraltar. Only 3-0 at home though from Gibraltar. They actually beat Gibraltar more. I think Gibraltar just got tired. I think that 14-0 took it out of them, and that's why Netherlands got through a 6-0 win there. It's one of them. It's definitely interesting of how they qualified second in the group and then playing against France again. You already kind of predict what France is going to do to them in the Euros, but it's a strong defence. It's a strong defence that's not really been tested too much with Van Dijk and Ake, and then Frimpong, who's not had much game time for Netherlands under Ronald Koeman, but surely he's going to get the game time at the Euros. What a season he's had for Bayer Leverkusen. If it's on the right wing, this guy needs to get to the team somehow. Xavi Simons and De Jong in the midfield, and then they can choose quite a few attackers. They got Depay, Malen, or Wout Weghorst. Wout Weghorst obviously a big part of the Netherlands team at the World Cup, but kind of fell off since. Depay obviously a massive part of this Netherlands team, no matter what really. But obviously Van Dijk's going to be leading from the back. The Netherlands' best option here is their defensive options. Van Dijk, Ake, Botman, Van der Ven. There's so many that you can go on with that defence, and you put Van Dijk on the left. You put Van Dijk in there, Ake on the left, and you put Van der Ven next to Van Dijk, and then you allow Frimpong a bit more freedom because he can move into a back three the way City kind of do. Allow Frimpong to march up the pitch, and Group D for Poland, finishing third in their group and qualifying, the first team that we're talking about here, qualifying through the playoffs. But we're talking about how they played in their group, obviously getting beat by the Czech Republic, finishing behind Albania and Czech Republic in the group, getting beat by Moldova. These drop stupid points in stupid places where they shouldn't be dropping points, and it's cost them. Drawing them last two games cost them, and they finished third in the group, meaning they had to go through the qualifying round where they played against Estonia. Absolutely smashed Estonia, no issue, 5-1. Came up against Wales, where it was a tougher time, but then managed to qualify against Wales on penalties, knocking Wales out, knocking a home nation out, which was a bit annoying for me as someone from England. I'd like to see the home nations in the tournament, especially working in a bar. It kind of brings in the money and stuff like that. But anyway, managed to qualify on penalties against Wales. It was disappointment for Wales fans, but yeah. On to the players that they're bringing into the squad. Well, Michael Probier's squad, as was it Szczesny, who we all know. Jakub Kiwior, who's had a good season for Arsenal, but doesn't play enough as he should. Piotr Zielinski, Jakub Moder, Frankowski making up the midfield, whilst you can decide on the attack, which probably Robert Lewandowski, but they got Milic off the bench as well. They've got options, this team. It's got options. It's going to have a tough time against Netherlands and France, but they've got options in this team. They got options. On to Austria, and Austria finished second in their group, just behind Belgium, which is not a bad team to finish second behind at all whatsoever. Beat Azerbaijan 4-1. Beat Estonia, who you saw just then. Poland have a game against an absolute smash 5-1. Austria not having as much of a good time against them, only beating them 2-1 and 2-0. But push results against Belgium, which is decent from them. They drew against Belgium away and were unlucky to not draw with Belgium at home as well, which could have seen them finish top of the group above Belgium. So don't sleep on this team. Do not sleep on this Austria team. It's not a team to be sleeping on. I think they're going to have a good time at this Euros, and they might even give Holland and France a run for their money. But under Ralph Rangnick, you can tell it's a team. Ralph Rangnick's got this team mentality, because there's not a lot of star names in the team. There's only a few that I could pick, and that's Marcel Sabitzer, Baumgartner, Konrad Laimer, and Marko Arnautovic. And a big name you can see I'm missing here is David Alaba, because he's not in the squad, which is crazy. David Alaba not being in the Austria squad. He's when you think of Austria, my first thought is David Alaba, but no. They can rely a lot on that midfield now, and then Marko Arnautovic up front. But there's a few young players coming through, a few young players that Ralph Rangnick had his eye on to try and bring to United, but never actually managed to do it. We'll wait and see what Rangnick can do at the international stage. Obviously, I've got PTSD from seeing him on the club stage, but we'll wait and see what he can do for Austria at this Euros. So he's got a good group to test himself here. But we'll wait and see how he does. That is the end of this video now, guys. I do thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, because there's more on this channel all the time. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I do see you next time. Cheers.